Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories behind corporate filings. And today we are diving into Winmark Corporation's latest report. And let me tell you, there are some shareholder dividends being dished out and some interesting financial tidbits to explore. Alright, so who is Winmark Corporation? They are a company that offers franchising opportunities in a few main areas like fitness retail, and even some equipment financing. Think of it as enabling people to start their own businesses under the Winmark umbrella. This particular document is what's called a Form 8K. Think of it as a current report for the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It's basically a way for companies to tell the public about important events that happen between their bigger regular reports. So if something significant changes, like their financial results, or a big decision is made, they file this. The key date here is July 15th, 2025. This is when the events we are talking about actually happened. Now, people really care about how a company is doing financially, and that's what this report gives us a peek into. Winmark announced their financial results for the second quarter ending June 28th, 2025, around mid-July. This is where we get the nitty-gritty on how the business performed during those 3 months. But that's not all. On the very same day, July 15th, 2025, Winmark also made another important announcement. They told everyone that their board of directors, the folks in charge of guiding the company, decided to give some money back to the shareholders. This means if you own Winmark stock, you are going to get 96 cents for every share you own. This money will be sent out on September 2nd to everyone who owned shares by the end of the day on August 13th. It's a way for companies to share their profits with the people who have invested in them. It shows a level of confidence from the company's leadership that they are generating enough profit to distribute a portion of it. This is usually a positive sign for investors. This section is all about those financial results. When a company announces its earnings, what they are really doing is giving a scorecard of their performance. How much money did they make? How much did it cost to make it? And importantly, how much profit is left over. This is crucial for understanding if the company is growing or shrinking. The report mentions that on July 15th, Winmark put out a press release with these second quarter results. While this document doesn't contain the actual numbers from that press release, it points us to it. Think of it like a headline. It tells us what the news is and then directs us to where we can find all the details. Usually these press releases contain key figures like revenue, earnings per share, and sometimes projections for the future. Regulation FD stands for Fair Disclosure. This rule from the SEC basically says that if a company releases important information, they have to make sure everyone hears it at the same time. They can't tell one investor before they tell the public. So this part of the filing confirms they are following that rule by announcing these results and the dividend simultaneously through a press release. This is another way to make important announcements. It's broader, covering any other significant events that don't fit neatly into other categories. In this case, it's reiterating the dividend announcement. Here's where they list the actual documents that support everything they've said. This is the first exhibit, and it's the press release containing their second quarter financial results. This is where you would go to find the real numbers, like how much money they brought in, known as revenue, and how much profit they made after covering all their costs. And this second exhibit is the press release about the dividend payment. This last one is a bit technical. It's about interactive data, often in a format called XBRL, which is designed to make financial data more easily analyzed by computers. It's like a standardized digital format for their financial reports. And finally, the report is signed off by Anthony D. Ishog, who holds the important roles of Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer. This signature confirms that the information in the report is accurate and has been reviewed by a top financial executive at Winmark. Now let's wrap this up with my take. Winmark Corporation in this filing is showing us two key things. They're reporting their quarterly business performance, and they're deciding to reward their shareholders with a dividend. The dividend payment, while specific to this quarter, often signals a company's health and management's confidence in future earnings. It's a return of capital to investors based on profits generated. Not all companies that are doing okay pay dividends, so when they do, it's usually a good sign. It suggests they have enough cash to cover their operations, invest in growth, and still have money left over to share. The fact that they are announcing these results and the dividend on the same day under different sections of this report is pretty standard practice. It ensures all material information is broadcasted in compliance with regulations. What we really need to do is look at that Exhibit 99.1 to get the nitty-gritty on their actual second quarter performance. Is their revenue up? Are their costs under control? Is their profit growing? These are the questions that the press release would answer, and that's where the real story of their business health lies. Without those specific numbers in this document, we can't judge whether the dividend is sustainable or if it's just a one-off payout. But the intention to pay it and the timing suggests they are having a solid financial period. In terms of risks or opportunities, for Winmark, a key opportunity is always the growth within their franchise models. If they can attract more franchisees and help them succeed, that's a direct growth driver. A risk might be economic downturns that affect consumer spending on things like fitness or new equipment, which can impact their franchisees and thus their own revenue. Also, competition in the franchise space is always a factor. Overall, this filing shows a company actively managing its shareholder relations and reporting its business activities, highlighted by a decision to distribute profits. It's positive news for investors, but the long-term picture depends entirely on the actual financial performance reported in that attached press release. Alright, that's a breakdown of Winmark's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.